This Saturday, we got Mexico's very own and former two-time champion Brandon Moreno, who is one of the most experienced fighters in the whole flyweight division, is looking to bounce back from a controversial stoppage in his last fight, as he'll be taking on a young and very dangerous fighter who's got nothing to lose in Lone'er Kavanagh, who is also looking to get back into the win column after suffering his first career loss after getting knocked out by Charles Johnson last August. And this is the type of matchup where the veteran either reminds everyone how elite he is, or the new generation starts to take over. Moreno thrives in chaos, volume, scrambles, durability, and heart, while Kavanagh is sharp, calculated, and explosive early. So is Moreno still in this championship window, or are we going to start seeing a change-up in the lightweight division? Let's break it down. First off, let's start with Brandon Moreno, and in my opinion, he's just on a completely different level here, and it starts with experience. This guy has fought multiple world champions, and he has been in more championship fights than Kavanagh has had total fights in the UFC. Going the full 5 rounds over and over against the absolute best in the division, including guys like Davison Figueiredo, Kai Kara-France, Brandon Royval, and Alexander Pantoja, just to name a few. An experience like that really matters, especially in a main event fight like this one. Stylistically, I truly do believe that Moreno is one of the most underrated strikers in the whole UFC. People talk about his heart, his toughness, his wars, but his boxing defense is very elite. His head movement, his ability to slip and counter shots, and his combinations. He doesn't just throw a single shot, he works to put punches together. And the biggest thing, he can switch up everything. He can box, he can pressure, he can fight off his back foot, he can wrestle, he can scramble, he can hunt for attacks off submissions, and he feels comfortable anywhere this fight goes. If it does turn into a technical striking battle, I believe it will be an advantage for Moreno. If it turns into a wrestling heavy or hits the mats, I still favor Moreno. Then you look at the cardio. Brandon Moreno has proven time and time again he has what it takes to push a hard pace for 5 rounds straight with very little to no drop-off. And then for Kavanagh, this will be his first official 5-round fight, not only in the UFC, but for his entire career. That's a completely different pace and a completely different mental test for him. If this fight does go past the 2nd or 3rd round, I can see him starting to fade and Moreno really starting to pull away, because we've seen Kavanagh start to slow down these fights before, and those were only 3-rounders. And durability is also another key factor that plays a part in this, as I feel like we have seen Kavanagh hurt in almost every single one of his fights so far, being brutally knocked out in his last one. While Moreno, on the other hand, besides his last fight with Tatsuro Taira, which I still believe was an early stoppage, if you go back and look and watch, I do believe Moreno took very little damage, has still never truly been finished, with almost all of his losses coming by decision, has proven he has what it takes to eat a shot and keep coming forward. So when you look at it all, skill for skill, experience for experience, and 5-round ability, I believe that Moreno is just the more complete and proven fighter. But at the same time, with all that still being said, Kavanagh is not a guy you can just completely overlook. His biggest strength is his explosiveness. He's fast and sharp early on, with the ability to close distance quickly. Especially in the first round, he can be dangerous. He has the ability to catch guys before they can even settle into the fight. And going against somebody as good as Moreno, that's really where I see his window could be. If he's going to be able to find any success at all, he's going to have to be able to catch him early in the exchanges clean while he's still fresh. Because if he's not even able to do that, he will not be able to have the same layered striking as Moreno, where he can start to adjust and start to find success in the later rounds. He just doesn't have enough experience yet. And then the other major concern is, like I said before, if he's not able to get Moreno out of there early on, and it does make it into the later rounds, he will find himself starting to struggle to adjust to the pace that's going to be put onto him. And coming off fresh from a knockout like what happened in his last fight, it really does hurt the confidence in a young fighter. We've seen it happen time and time before. It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to tell us a lot about Kavanagh to see how he responds back from experiencing something like that for the very first time in his whole career. Now, with all that being said, my final predictions is I'm going to be taking Brandon Moreno to get this one done by TKO by round 3 or the latest early round 4. I think early on, Kavanagh could have a moment or two coming out fast trying to make a statement, maybe being able to land a couple shots in the first round, but that's really about it. Moreno's just been here before. There's nothing he'll have to go through in this fight that he hasn't seen before. We know he's not going to be panicked or overreact to anything, but he'll stay composed like always, start to get a read down and the timing, and slowly start to take over. And then once it gets into the 2nd round, that's where we're really going to see this fight start to shift. He'll start to pick up the pace, maybe mix in some grappling, and just force Kavanagh to work every single second of this fight. That's where his gas tank really starts to become an issue. He'll start to slow down, and we'll see the complete opposite from Moreno, as he'll gain more confidence and get more aggressive. Then eventually we're going to see the ref come in to stop this fight. I would be very surprised if it made it to the 5th round. This really could be a statement win for Brandon Moreno, but not just a win, a reminder for the entire flyweight division that he's still one of the best in the entire world. And for Lone'er Kavanagh, this is still a huge opportunity. Even with the loss, this is the kind of fight that shows where he really stands and what he'll need to work on moving forward. Now, this is the part where I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys agree with my prediction, or do you think I'm missing here and we're going to witness a major upset? Drop your thoughts and picks in the comments below. And if you're into these and enjoy these UFC breakdowns and predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't want to miss anything. We're going to be covering all the big fights to help you guys stay one step ahead. I'll see you guys on the next one.